Welcome to TradeTheMBA.com. This is John. This report is for the 5th, and we continued right off of that bounce off the ABM green right there, and proceeded to break out. Well, we're getting pretty close to getting right back to where the previous highs were. A little more room to go right up in the peak area, but not too much. I mean, we were right at the edge of it. It should provide just a little resistance, but this is the positive move in the shakeout that we were looking for. And now you get steel crop. That was the actual close, so always good to hear that happen as it's taking place. And you can see that the midterm buyers also crossing above the red, and we're actually starting to see that turn around. And this orange move straight below is going to produce potentially a new daily buy setup. So that's going to be a powerful turnaround, kind of within where we were expecting the market to break out to new highs, particularly without any impetus to the otherwise. There's really nothing on the horizon that seems to be a threat to that at this particular point. So all the indicators look good. And Nasdaq's still just a little bit behind. And then going to the Dow, it's also, so everyone's going to be reaching right at their peak highs all at the same time, which is going to give us an equilibrium return, going back to parity in all the markets. We saw a dramatic increase in the euro, moving right back. Again, every time we get down to these base levels, central banks have to step in to support that, to keep it from dipping too far. They don't want to lose a grip on that, and that pushed bonds, obviously, up just past our turnaround threshold. They're still going to be weak, but at this particular point, you're having some gravitation to safety there, but a first indication of inflation pressures, and boy, they're going to take a nosedive with the expectation of Fed. And you can see we've stayed in a very narrow range with oil here. There's been zero movement whatsoever. It's just been contained for the most part, and then slight breakout in gold, and that's going to continue. It's been a steady rise in the shakeout and continuing to progress nicely. We had a complete reset of everything had gone from extreme oversold back over here, and then we started evening out, and we could see that there was increase in the amount of accumulation taking place as that was starting to grow. And here was an adjustment that was done for the buy sell D. There's going to be several others that are taking place with it. What it did was it takes into consideration that even when you have a DOC spread that took place, several points going along here, like in this particular case back here at the beginning, not going to react to it as long as you have rising brown within your shakeout in particular, and normally shouldn't have any impact, particularly if your magenta is over the 15 line. Even right through here, that's just got to get added to it, and that will eliminate many of the little false runs. Now, yes, you would still have an indication right here on this DOC spread that took place right about there, and we started to see a decay. Wasn't much of one. I mean, literally only went to the ABM and the short algo. Actually, you can see the short algos hiding underneath there. I kind of removed some of the extra lines to make it a little easier to see, and then boom, we went into immediate rebuild of the shakeout, and then it started to break down once again. So higher highs and starting to break down with lower shakeout readings. So this is pretty much the reset that's taking place right now. And you can see, I mean, that's pretty modest as far as the base return. I mean, we're getting like really no movement whatsoever from 64 to right exactly at the same. So it hasn't even fluctuated, even though it's been in a significant, what we would call reset sell signal. So all in all, that's good. And what we're going to be seeing is that will adjust into the shakeout. What we'll see is that we'll stay green, and like here, it didn't until it turned magenta right there. And this correlates to some effects that take place within the blue and the azure lines as well. And that coating is all getting added into it that will allow for consistent follow-through runs on some of these higher moves, and it will also give us further back when we have short configurations. It will start just a little bit different on them and continue to follow those as they go, based more on trade rather than just simple signal so that you can see the effects of what it would be to actually trade them. So it requires a little bit of adjustment in how we treat it, but these are the things that are taking place behind the scenes. We'll start to see the effects. And as soon as I have them to where they're like definable and easy enough to see way, I'll send out updates on them, particularly when it comes to the shakeout and some of the indicator ones. It will be easy to see as I adjust the colors, particularly on the bottom side where they've stayed white, and you'll get the beginning turnaround once we start to see magenta climb with the yellow and brown shakeouts will be the significant coming off of oversold, and so you'll see a little green colored turn earlier than you do with the actual at this point with the shakeout turning green right here. So it'll actually take place a little bit sooner when the actual signals come through off of DOC with the orange moving below and having the right configurations and all that. So something to look forward to. Always exciting when those things are starting to come together. I think the language is starting to work much better now that everything's been transferred all into a universal codex of subgroupings. It makes it a little easier to put things together and make additions in that within various setups. So technical stuff, don't need to get into it. For all we know right now, the market is going to continue its assault. Fine, we may see pauses, but overall it's going to be a significant breakthrough once we get to new highs that should cause additional short covering, because we actually saw some for the first time, shorts adding into it. So that will be an opportunity to take advantage of that short cover rally. As always, though, trade well, and I will be in Milan all day for trading on Thursday, so you won't see me or hear from me again until the Friday action, in which case be back at it again. Trade well. We'll talk again later.